Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from the outskirts of Indiana. This is the Gaming Saloon for November 4th, 2018, with your hosts, Facebook2448 and Rampant Epsilon.
Hi.
We are a day later than usual. But that only means we're a day later and talking about the thing that everyone's talking about this week.
Well, in light of that, I already know it's not Geo.
Well, what do we have to talk about, Gio? It didn't air this week. I mean, yeah, we do have a Geo thing to talk about, but it's like, it's a thing we already knew about, and it doesn't give us that much, but it at least gives us a way to talk about 9 episodes of Geo so far. As we are almost a fourth of the way through the show.
Really? We're only a fourth of the way through?
Yeah. Ryder ends up running about 40 episodes. We're about a fourth of the way there. It can't end soon enough, can it? Well, just think about this.
I really wanted to see how they're gonna try to fix the problems.
Well,
because you can't tell me they don't see the problem.
They probably do. But if there's one silver lining in this, and that if Geo holds through with a lot of its decade parallels, especially on the production end, the next show after this will be really good because it'll be the double equivalent. Like, that's the thing to look forward to, right?
I guess.
Granted, the reason Double turned out so well is because they literally put all of the old guard on Decade, and they had all new people on Double. And it was in production at the same time as Decade. So no one can interfere with it. Which I don't think that's going to happen to the next show, because Geo's not going short, as far as we know.
Even though we probably hope it would, but I mean...
A little bit, but... meh. Anyway, before we get into the Direct and some other stuff that happened these past couple weeks, tell me, what have you been playing these past couple weeks?
Well, one of them I don't want to say because it kind of goes into the quick draw that I have, so I'm probably going to skip that one. But I have played some Insane Trilogy and Mario and Rabbids.
Very good choices.
I think that's outside of what...
You forgot about a certain mobile game.
Oh yeah, but I figured you were talking about that, so...
Yeah, because honestly I haven't really been able to sit down and play a whole lot that we haven't streamed. Unfortunately. But yeah, we both gotten to try Ruby Amity Arena, I believe is how it's called.
I believe so.
I've enjoyed it outside of the fact of I really wish I could get some of the cards I keep going up against.
I've not had that problem.
Have you run in the Sniper Ruby?
Can't say that I have.
How would you like a very good ranged unit that can do piercing damage and hit multiple units at once?
Yes, please.
That's Sniper Ruby in a nutshell, and holy fuck do I want her. Pyrrha does the same thing because she can do a shield throw that goes through multiple units. Penny can, I think it's a charge attack considering how it operates, can create a area of effect with, or an area of damage, or a circle of damage, and the range on that she can practically go turret to turret on that range.
Wow.
Meaning she can backdoor your turret without even being there, which means she's a better Blake. Because Blake, I love the quote whenever someone drops in Blake of, bet you didn't see me, even though I see that Blake backdoor coming a mile away every goddamn time. Like, oh my god. I wish people would stop going for it because it doesn't work. Unless you literally catch your opponent with zero capabilities of dropping a card immediately on the turret you're backdooring into, it won't work. Stop it.
I more did it to screw with people.
I mean, that's a better way of doing it, but like, oh my god, am I so tired of seeing backdoor Blake. But today, I did end up getting Coco. So now I have essentially a minigun that I can deploy, but I'm not using her. I also picked up the Lancer Swarm, which is a better version of the Lancers, I think, but it costs 5. And I like to play lower tier stuff.
Yeah, I like lower cost.
Like the highest thing I have cost is Airbone's basic Scythe Ruby. Otherwise, all my stuff is mainly 3s with some White Fang Gunners at 2. Which, I have found out something. It is a good idea to have some ranged units on your team.
Oh yeah.
I found that out the hard way by having only 2, and I'm like, ooh, people can overwhelm me real bad with ranged units, especially when people love doing the dropship, which I've started doing now. Because here's the trick with the dropship. It doesn't matter where you deploy it. It only matters where the dropship dies. Because that's when your main units are deployed. And if they're dropped directly on your turret and you do not counter that, kiss that turret goodbye in like 12 seconds, because it's gone. Like, the dropship is a really good pressure tool. Because when you see a dropship, you better be ready to counter that immediately, or to drop that early, or make it drop its payload early. Because if not, they will hammer away at your turret, and they can take a good quarter to half health before you can get them all dead.
Well then.
Yeah, especially if they're powered up good. I still like my baby Deathstalkers play. I like my Zerg Zorn play. I refuse to let it go. Actually, I only really used 3 characters. Ruby, the Weiss with the ice field, and Jean as a tank. Because he can tank out a lot of good damage. Like, it's not as good as the Ursa ring, or the Ursa Major. Because the Ursa Major, I literally was trying to stop an Ursa Major today from destroying my turret, and it managed to tank it all and still take down my turret. It had 2 sets of units in the turret firing on it, and it still destroyed my turret. Alone.
Oh yeah.
Ursas are stupidly strong.
Like, it's best if you see one of them to literally lay everything on top of it.
I have managed to make it to Arena 3. I'm at 796 on my trophies.
Also, I got to thinking of something. I might know why we were having a problem trying to find each other.
Why?
Which kingdom are you a part of?
Mistral, I believe?
That might be why.
Oh. Which one are you in?
Vacuo. Because it auto-dumped me there.
Oh. Good
that
thing
might
we have
be what's happening then.
Good thing we have a free swap for that.
Yeah.
So which one of us is moving?
Eh.
You know what? I'll go. You know what? I'll go the vacuo.
Okay. But yeah, I got to thinking about that afterwards. It's like, wait a minute. I bet that's what it is. Because I bet that's their way of essentially separating people into different servers.
Probably. I still don't see you on.
Oh, I'm just now plugging in.
Oh, well, that could be a problem, but I still don't see an option to add a friend.
Yeah, I didn't either. So I was wondering if maybe it will decide it wants to show properly?
Maybe. But I really enjoy it. I like that even if the game is kind of simple, there is a good bit of depth in terms of how you time your rushes, how you time your units, and how you can counter certain units with other units. Like, I love my Zerg play. There's at least like 2 units that can counter it outright with one move. Like, Weiss can counter it hard. Scythe Ruby can counter it hard. Like, a stronger Deathstalker unit can counter it, or can, well, we won't say counter it, it can nullify it. A good tank unit can kind of, like, negate some of your damage. Sniper Ruby and Pyra and Penny with their big AoE attacks can all 3 counter Deathstalkers. Like, there's a good bit of counterplay strategy. For a game based off an internet show, I really dig it. It's probably my favorite mobile game I'm playing at the moment. Besides hopping on Fire Emblem Heroes and, like, doing some quick maps. Because I still kind of dig that. But I think this has more strategy to it. And more depth to the combat. Even though you're not really doing much outside of just dumping units and letting the AI take care of the rest. Although I'm still having my lag issues, which is probably just me.
Which, I've got to say this. It feels like the AI is pretty self-explanatory and doesn't do stupid things.
Well, I like it where you can use the fact that the AI will pick a lane, and if you plot something in the middle, they will divide accordingly.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's a good pressure option, because I've seen that done to me today. It was either today or yesterday that someone, like, dumped a baby Deathstriker unit in the middle and let them split up, and I'm like, fuck, you bastard. Because, like, more often than not, games will play out to where, like, either you pick a lane or they pick a lane and you counter lane accordingly. It gets tricky when, like, either you start splitting across both lanes or they start splitting across both lanes and you have to counter both. And it's like, oh, fuck. Because you've only got, I think, was it 10 aura to play with?
At max, yeah.
At max, and that charges like 1 aura like every 30 seconds maybe, if less or if more.
It's more.
Yeah, it's more. It's less when you're in, like, in the last, like, minute or so, or in sudden death when it's a double charge. But, like,
no, I meant it was more than 1 every 30 seconds.
Oh, honestly, I've not really paid attention to the rate it is. But yeah, when you start having the fight on both lanes, it's like, oh god, this sucks. Especially when you have a deck of 8 cards, and you can only play 1 of 4 at a time as it cycles around. and you gotta hope your cycle's right, because if it's wrong, you're fucked.
Yeah.
I have had a couple games be decided by my cycle, because I could not get my cycle right, and I got off, and I got really hit hard for it. I assume you're not seeing any friend stuff, even though I'm in Backyo.
I wasn't, no. That makes me wonder why that's broke.
Maybe it's just not there yet. Oh, I do see that I have a 60% win rate according to my last 20 games. And I've won almost 70 games.
Well then.
And I've had 874 trophies at one point? Or is that the total trophies I've earned? 'Cause I'm at 79 or 7960 or 70 or 796 at the moment.
That might be your highest that you've hit.
That's surprising. I didn't think I got that high. Yeah, I like it.
Well, I
encourage
think I
anyone.
can actually find out. Because if I look at mine, yeah, that's max. That's what you popped out at.
Oh wow, I didn't think I got that high. I know you cap out at 3,000. I believe it's 3,000. Yeah, you cap out at 3,000. Oh, another good unit, Nora, who can literally just go, you don't exist anymore, and literally bonk your unit 5 miles backwards if it doesn't outright kill them. Like, Jesus. I just wish I got some of these better units that would fit my playstyle better, because sometimes I feel kind of underpowered.
Yeah, I've had times where that's the same. Where you can just tell.
That someone got the better draw than you on the boxes.
All the way around.
Yeah, because
That's
I've
right.
hit people with both Penny and Sniper Ruby. No, a guy had Sniper Ruby, Penny, and Pyra. I'm just like, or not Pyra, Pyrrha. I don't know why I keep doing that in my head. It must be me playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2, because Pyrrha's name and how it's spelled is not that far off from Pyra. It's like 4 less letters. But they are spelled almost the exact same way, so I keep mixing the pronunciation for whatever stupid reason. But yeah, I recommend it if you're interested in a little, like, power defense strategy game, or especially if you're a fan of Ruby. Like, it's really good and really fun, and I enjoy it. So, anything else?
No, I can't think of anything.
Alright, let's talk Smash Direct! Somewhat, even though we've already talked about a good bit of it on Friday.
Yeah.
So, just to kind of recap all the stuff that got announced. First and foremost, the final 2 characters for the roster for release were announced. We're getting Incineroar from Gen 7, everyone's favorite pro wrestling-based Pokemon. I am totally going to be playing Incineroar a whole bunch and suplexing the fuck out of people. I'm sorry, but that's gonna happen. And Ken as an Echo Fighter of Ryu, which anyone would have called. Like, he's probably the most obvious Echo Fighter of the roster outside of Shadow.
Yeah.
And we're not getting Shadow because Shadow's an assist trophy again.
Boo.
Well,
Everyone needs our edgy hedgehog.
and we aren't going to get him, as we'll find out with the Fighter Pass talk. We got a talk of amiibos. Of course, the Inkling, Ridley, and Wolf amiibos are coming out December 7th with the game, but the amiibos for King K. Rool will come out on the 15th, along with Ice Climbers in the Piranha Plant. And then on later next year, we're getting Isabelle, Pichu, Ken, Young Link, and Daisy. I've also found
the only issue I have is why wasn't Daisy the first batch of releases?
I don't know.
Like, that makes no sense. We're getting 2 new characters and a returning. And who all did you say was coming out the same batch as K. Rool?
K. Rool, Ice Climbers, and Piranha Plant.
Maybe that's their strategy then. For the first few. Because that
likely
would be 2 new and a returning.
Mm-hmm. And bear in mind, the Isabelle through Daisy batch is only listed for next year. We don't have a specific release date for them, and pre-orders haven't even went up for them. The only pre-orders that have went up from these announcements is the K. Rool, Ice Climber, and Piranha Plant batch, which I already pre-ordered from Best Buy because I didn't pre-order fast enough to get them through Amazon. But they're pre-ordered, so I will continue to have all of the Smash Amiibo. I need to sit down and go on, Buyee, and use them as a middleman service to pick up the 4 amiibo I'm missing that I want off Amazon Japan, because they are standard prices on Amazon Japan. It's the Splatoon 2 trio and the Boblikin from the Breath of the Wild set. That's all I'm missing from what I want. They're standard prices on Amazon Japan because I looked. And I believe also, I have to look at this, but I believe December 7th gives us the Octoling trio amiibo-wise. Let me check that real quick.
Can't remember.
Yeah, it'll be about the same time because they're arriving the same time as my amiibo I have ordered through Amazon. Because I have Ridley and the Inkling Girl ordered through Amazon. I believe I've ordered Wolf through Best Buy. Because I didn't get fast enough to get Wolf on Amazon. But yeah, there's that. The big thing that plays into a thing later, and also the song that I've been listening to on loop for like 4 days straight. Spirits! Which are very reminiscent of stickers from Brawl, except done a lot better, I feel like. Because 1, they have detailed information to attach to them of who they are. 2, they're evolvable. Like, you can take, Naked Snake from Metal Gear Solid 3 and evolve him into Big Boss from Metal Gear Solid 5.
So, this is stickers meets Pokemon?
Pretty much. Except, in the summoning, or when it comes to the summoning of spirits, you need very specific materials. Like, for Paper Mario, you want to take a guess on what you need?
What?
You need Cutman, and you need the cardboard box from Metal Gear Solid. I believe E-Honda, you need Piston Honda from Punch-Out, and I forget the other one. You need another fighter from some other fighting game.
I'm sorry, I like the fact that for Paper Mario, you literally have to get the materials to make Paper Mario.
Yeah. I think all of the summoning ones are going to be very specific like that. You are going to need related spirits in order to summon this spirit. Like, I want to say it was shown off in the stream, but Micaiah from Radiant Dawn, they show her evolving into her advanced class, artwork-wise, for her spirit. But the primary spirits will give some type of stat boost, but any secondary spirit you attach will have some type of ability attached to it. So if there's poison on the field, you can attach a spirit to nullify poison damage. You can give an item. You can get a power-up for a specific move, or anything, really. So your combination of spirits attached to a fighter is important. And some of main spirits can only allow 2 slots, while some only allow 3, others only allow 1. And I guess that depends on the rarity system they've set up for them. And of course, as you can see in the image, much like the stickers, they are pretty much using whatever standard assets they can get a hold of for that character and just using that. But you can participate in spirit battles, which are little mini events that will be much like the single player mode, which we'll get to. And they have a bounty board for that. Talked about online and local wireless play. You can allow up to multiple Switch consoles to play together. No fun or for glory, but instead you'll be matched up with your preferred rule set. So if you like one-on-one, pretty much competitive play, you'll be matched up with people who want competitive play. If you don't want competitive play, you'll be matched up with people who don't want competitive play.
So they'll still be for fun and for glory, it's just different way of setting it up.
Yep, and also the matchmaking is prioritizing location. So if you're in the US, most of the time you should be matched up with US players. If you're in Japan, most of the time you'll probably be matched up with Japanese players.
Okay.
I say that most of the time.
This is a double-edged sword. If you prioritize based off your global smash power, then that causes lag because of distance.
Right.
If you prioritize distance, then that skews the global smash power.
Yep.
Because if it's prioritizing, say, us against other people within a relative ping of us, then that could also mean their global smash power could be way higher or way lower. Mm-hmm. Meaning it's going to be a one-sided battle.
Well,
it won't be at launch, but it will evolve into that.
Yeah. Maybe it's a staging matter where it will prioritize location, then it will prioritize smash power.
But it's still going to hit a roadblock.
Yeah.
No matter which way it goes about it, it's going to hit a roadblock.
Yep. Apparently, if you can hit a high enough GSP level, you can access elite battles. I assume that will be a lot of pro players will be able to access that card.
Unless you're a pro, don't expect to see this.
Yeah.
Like,
Battle Arena lobbies were talked about. New assist trophies were shown off. Yuri Kazukata from Fatal Frame is a assist trophy. Isaac from Golden Sun is an assist trophy. The Black Knight from Path of Radiant / Radiant Dawn is an assist trophy, along with Adult Tiki from Fire Emblem Awakening, Giant Thwomp, Springman from ARMS, Wily Capsule 7, I believe? I'm trying to remember, because Game Explained specifically stated which Wily Capsule it was. I believe it's 7. which is the hardest Wily capsule. So this is Wily at his hardest as an assist trophy. Flies in Hand from Mario Paint. Vincent Van Gogh from Art Academy. Guile from Street Fighter. Akira from Virtual Fighter. And that gives us like 59 assist trophies in total. Let me check the website, because I might be missing a couple. Because thankfully, the Smash website lists all items conveniently. Give me them assist trophies. Is there anyone else noteworthy? Shadow was shown off to be an assist trophy. I'm not seeing anybody we haven't already seen to some variety, or isn't a returning one. Nope, we're good. We also have Century Smash, which is a 100-man Smash All-Star mode, which you don't have to unlock characters that beat everybody. Everyone already shows up in All-Star mode, no matter who you have unlocked.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And I think it also goes endlessly as well. So you just go forever on that. Krill Smash is also the same. You got replay data. Challenges are back with a comic book layout. Records include both online and offline data. You can use in-game currency to get music, spirits, and essentially anything, really. So you're not just spending currency just to get trophies, because in like upping your challenge, your difficulty meter for classic mode, which that is also back. It wasn't shown off in the direct, but you can increase the level for your classic mode. And here's the really neat part: everyone's classic mode is different.
Well then.
Not just in who you're fighting, but how you're fighting. For instance, Ryu. When you're playing Ryu, all your fights are on the same stage, which is his stage in the Omega format, or the Final Destination format, and they're all stamina battles.
Huh.
But if you play as Isabelle, you will only fight female fighters. And again, there's a difficulty meter. There's a brand new piece of artwork, much like the one we have, the banner, except it's more detailed. It's more kind of storybook looking. And that is, you scroll across that as you increase in difficulty. And the difficulty increases as you play through classic mode. So if you do really good, it will bump the difficulty up accordingly. But like I said, everyone's classic mode is different, which I actually like.
Yeah.
Which means if you're really good with a character, you will probably be able to clear their classic mode really well. Because it's no longer just random nonsense. Mii Fighters have a bunch of brand new costumes. There's a Nintendo Labo costume. There's a Shulk costume, which is a bonus, I believe, with the Fighter Pass DLC, I believe. Yeah, Rex and Nia are both Mii costumes, which means Rex is not going to become a fighter. They confirm that.
What's bad is something I saw up above also might have confirmed some other fighters that won't be there too.
What, the spear?
We apparently won't have Octolings or probably anyone from ARMS.
There's a Spring Girl outfit. I want to say there's Octoling spirits, but bear in mind, people have confirmed that there are spirits of existing fighters in there. So, just because someone is a spirit does not necessarily...
I'm not saying because of it being a spirit. Mii Fighter costume.
Mm-hmm.
typically that throws it out. Hence
Wait, is there?
why we didn't get Gino, we got a Gino costume.
I don't
Because
think they've confirmed the Geno costume.
I'm talking about for Smash 4.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Because obviously Nintendo and Square were on decent terms or we wouldn't have gotten Cloud.
Yeah, we wouldn't have got Cloud back.
I mean, one of those, it's like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, variety of Mii costumes. Nothing rules out anyone that's been highly requested outside of Rex, but as they confirmed, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was announced after they started development of Smash Ultimate, and after they kind of finalized who they wanted. So Rex is kind of like is most likely one of the first ones out, or one of the last out, most likely. Because again, I wouldn't be surprised that a lot of assist trophies / Mii costumes are a lot of the we really wanted to do this character, but we just don't have the time and resources to do them. Which is why Springman is assist trophy. Why, like, go through here, like Springman, Isaac, Zero, Shovel Knight. Like they're assist trophies because they probably ran out of time and resources to do them. We got confirmation of DLC over the next year going into, as it noted, February 2020 at the latest. We're going to get 5 new characters with 5 new stages and associated songs with those characters. They didn't say how much music is coming with each character. But at $6 a piece over the next year, you'll be getting a character, a stage, and a selection of music for your $6. Or you can buy the $25 Fighter Pass and get all of them whenever they come out. No word on who's in the pass yet, but we know one character who's not in the pass and is essentially a, hey, did you buy the game in the first couple months or the first month or so when it came out? You get the Piranha Plant, a potted Piranha Plant, mind you, as an early release bonus. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of dig it. It's a little busted. I know you're not a big fan of the Piranha Plant.
It's more that I feel like it, and I'm not meaning this bad, but I almost feel like that was a lazy call. Like it's not so much a bad decision, but just a lazy addition. Because they couldn't have picked any other character.
I'm willing to bet the Piranha Plant is more than likely a buffer for the DLC development. We're still finalizing stuff for the DLC. We're still, we're probably not going to see a DLC till, February, most likely. February, March. So, here's someone who is going to be out at launch. But he will be out soon. So, here's a nice little buffer, freebie. That'll probably be, $3 after January 31st. If you don't like the Piranha Plant, I completely understand, because it's kind of a very oddball choice. And yeah.
Well, like I said, it's not so much I don't like it, it's just that I feel like it's a lazy choice.
Yeah.
I almost feel like they didn't fully think it through.
Yeah. hopefully, like, I know some people have thought that this might set the trend for the DLC pass, which I highly doubt.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a possibility.
Right. But I highly doubt this is the statement of, like, this is how the DLC pass is going to go. No. I think the DLC pass is here are going to be 5 characters we needed more time on. Or, here are 5 characters that we wanted to put in, but we couldn't fit in the final roster. But we still want them here to make our roster 80 strong. Just bear in mind, with Piranha Plant plus our 5 DLC fighters, that is 80 fighters. 80 fighters. That is, I want to say, the most put into any fighting game.
I almost feel like that's the reason why I feel like that's kind of a dud in terms of it. Because they are trying to make a statement, and then we get the Piranha Plant. Like, what was the thought process on that one exactly?
Yeah. But thankfully, the direct didn't end on this note. We got the mention that they're going to continue the North America tour, so if you are in one of the stops for the Smash tour, not the Smash tour you probably want, but the tour of being able to play Smash Ultimate, you can go play the full roster at any one of these events now, because the full roster is available at those events. And from those, we've actually found out a couple more Final Smashes. Young Link and 2 Link both share the same Final Smash, and it's Link's old Final Smash. The Triforce carved up slash thing. Yeah, they both share that one. Sheik has a brand new Final Smash that isn't the arrow, or the light bone arrow. I don't remember Zelda's, because I just watched the video today showcasing all of the Final Smashes we do know. Apparently there's confirmation that Ramen still has his old Final Smash, which means he's tag teaming with Chrom, which means you can do that Final Smash on Chrom, and Chrom can beat up himself. That's supposedly the case. I haven't seen footage of it.
That would kind of be funny, though.
Yes, it would.
And could very likely be a new meme of the internet.
Mm-hmm. But instead, we ended on the confirmation of, we have an adventure mode, World of Light. And we got the opening cutscene and a bit of gameplay from it. The opening cutscene has been the talk of the direct, I feel like, because people have went ham with this as our Eldritch, as I've heard it called, villain. We have gotten a name for him. Like, it's already on the Smash Wiki. Let me look it up. I think it's Galem? Yes, Galem! Is the winged rainbow thing that's controlling the army of Master Hands that obliterates every fighter and incinerates them in light. Which, I found out another interesting thing about the trailer, which, for, like, being 3 minutes long, it has all sorts of details. Like, you know how the Wii Fit trainer is doing a tree pose?
Yeah.
She's doing that to get invincibility frames. She can literally gain invincibility frames in that pose, as proven from Smash 4. Again, the details. But yeah, this also revealed the full opening, because till now we've only had, I guess, the instrumental version of it. Lifelight, which is the main theme of Smash Ultimate. This also showed off the adventure mode, which is more of a kind of like a almost looks like a board game where you go through different challenges to earn spirits and also earn members of the roster, I assume, since you are starting with the original 8. You will start the game with the original roster from Smash 64. And I assume either through this, I don't think it did not get confirmed in this direct, but I will believe it's still confirmed through Best Buy that you can use your amiibo to unlock the roster.
I would hope.
I think I believe you can also buy them through the shop. Like the internal Smash shop with your coins, you can buy fighters there, because I believe I've seen Daisy for sale in them, so you can buy fighters there. Because they've confirmed that there are several ways you can earn fighters. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I am totally going to earn every fighter through World of Light. Like, I will blaze through World of Light and unlock the entire roster, which also, because of a selection of movie stuff, might confirm that there's more than just the opening cutscene for this. Might. Keyword being here, might. There's speculation of it because this will most likely contain all the CG trailers we've gotten for several fighters, but there's not that many. It will probably contain all the classic mode videos, assuming they are there, which I see no reason not to assume. But there might be more cutscenes. We'll at least get an ending cutscene, I would assume, for this mode. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Smash Ultimate. I've had no reason not to look forward to it. Like, these last 3 character announcements may not be the most exciting overall, even though I am a personal fan of Incineroar because wrestling fan. I approve of a fighter that is all wrestling moves. Yeah, I can't wait for Smash Ultimate. How are you feeling?
I'm kind of in the same boat. I mean, yeah, the DLC thing I'm a little leery on because of the way they did it anyhow.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a minor hiccup. So, yeah, I'm kind of on board with it.
Also, just to throw it out there, people have went ham with the World of Light trailer from a writing standpoint. People have written in character perspectives of that trailer that didn't even show up. Because here's the interesting thing. Like, Mario shows up in his, like, captured trophy form, right?
Yeah.
We never see him get incinerated. Like, the only members of the original roster that we see get incinerated are Link, Samus, and Pikachu, I believe. Well, Link, Samus, Pikachu, Captain Falcon. We don't see Peach, or no, there wouldn't be Peach. We don't see Mario, we don't see Luigi, we don't see Jigglypuff, we don't see Ness. We don't see Fox. Fuck, who am I missing? We see Kirby, but Kirby escapes. Fuck, who am I missing? Donkey Kong! We don't see Donkey Kong at all. Like, some of these characters we see in the beginning, but we don't see their fates and what they were doing as shit went down. So people have went ham with that. And also people have went ham with Sonic and Pikachu being best buddies because of their 2 seconds on screen together. Because, again, this trailer is chock full of fucking details. Like, people have just, like, instead of just writing off Snake as, like, being a coward and hiding in his box. They've just went off and been like, oh, he's having a codex call with like Campbell or Otacon, being like, yo, shit's going down, and like checking in before he gets blown up. Battery's hiding with with other of the smaller fighters like Olimar and Isabel and stuff. Like, people have went to town with this, and I appreciate it. Because I guarantee you, whatever you're thinking of and whatever you're writing out for this in terms of your personal headcanons, that will be more than that happens in this mode. Because we're not going to get that much story from this. So I hope someone takes this and goes like the full mile and just does a complete novelization of this mode. From like nothing.
Which, you know, that will happen.
Yeah, and I will read the fuck out of it, especially if it's really good. But, moving on. So, you know how we keep talking about Meltan? And Pokemon Let's Go?
Or Ditto Nut?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Ditto Nut went and worked out because we now see his evolved form, Melmetal. Or what would you call an evolved form of the names we've given it? Ditto Buff?
There you go. Yep.
Oh, yes, Ditto Buff. Yeah, Melmetal, it's pure steel. It's essentially a culmination of a bunch of Meltan that have fused together into Ditto Buff. It's got Double Iron Bash as its unique move. A 2-hit Steel type move. You do have to evolve a Meltan in Pokemon Go before you transfer it to Let's Go in order to get this Pokemon. It takes about 400 candies, which isn't that bad considering you have that box thing that spawns a bunch of Meltan. And because I play Pokemon Let's Go, I can give you numbers for this. So, assuming that you have a bunch of pineapple berries, which give you extra candies per capture, that's about 6 candies, I believe. Right, no, 7 candies, I believe, per catch. That means you would need about 58 Meltan. 59 if you need one to evolve. Which, at 4, you would need 100. Which is if you're not using pineapple berries. Which isn't that bad, assuming we have a good number of spawns off the box. Which you only need to transfer a Pokemon from Let's Go to get the box to open. And there is a time wait on opening up the box before you can transfer another Pokemon and the box will open.
Because of course there is.
But yeah, it's not bad. There are dumber ways to evolve a Pokemon. Looking at you, Inkay. You and your dumb turn the goddamn 3DS upside down for your shit. Literally turn that sumbitch upside down in order to fucking evolve it.
Well,
As someone who
do a barrel roll.
As someone who had to evolve every single Pokemon, there are some dumb ways we have to fucking evolve Pokemon. This is not the worst way possible. Fucking trying to get Tyrogue and doing Tyrogue evolutions into the other Hitmons, that sucks. Because you know how that one works, right?
Can't say that I do, actually.
Okay, that requires your attack, defense, and speed stats to be of specific, or either one of the 3 to be low above the other, or all 3 to be equal at a certain level. You know how hard that is to manipulate properly to get a specific one?
I would have to imagine very hard.
Yeah. You're buying a bunch of zincs and carbosses to even out the stats, because Hitmon top requires all three to be even. That sucked. Again, I've had to evolve every single fucking Pokemon. I've had to go through all of this in a relatively short amount of time. Some are terrible. I never want to do them again. Yeah, Melmetal. A reason to pick up Pokemon. Let's go. I'll be honest. It comes out November 16th. This might be I'm going to wait till, like, next year to buy this. To be honest.
I think for me it's going to be, I'm going to wait until I feel like this is actually needed. So probably never.
Like, if I have to get this game to get Meltan and Melmetal, fine. Fine.
If I do, it's going to have to be on discount.
Yeah.
Like, that's all there is to it.
Like, I picked up Ultra Sun on discount from Toys R Us when it was going out of business. That was the only way I was picking up Ultra Sun, to be honest, because I was not picking that up at full price for, like, 3 Pokemon?
Well, I mean, a game that you've already gotten.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. That one completely can understand. One of those with this. I'm like, yeah, you're gonna have to make it worth it.
Yeah, especially considering we have Gen 8 next year. Like, that's happening next year. The Pokemon game we're all waiting for, that most of the tech that it scores in this game is next year. I kinda don't want to pick up a Pokemon game and pick up another one next year. To be honest.
Yeah.
I'd rather just wait till next year. Especially since I have Smash, and Valkyria Chronicles 4, and 100%ing Spider-Man for PlayStation 4, and Kingdom Hearts 3 in the next, like, 3 months.
Oh, you haven't 100%ed Spider-Man?
I'm at, like, 99.6%.
Oh. So you're close, you just haven't done it. Okay.
I need to complete the heist and get all the stuff for the heist on my main file, which, that was the thing I did, which was knocking out the heist DLC, which, I was right, I knocked that out in, like, 2 hours.
Yeah, it's super small.
Yeah, when you blow through the story mode, yeah, that's super quick. I just need to do it from my main file, and I need to pick up some of the last bit of costumes. But yeah, like, again, Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out literally in January, and I am playing the fuck out of that, and I am not streaming it. Because I ain't dealing with spoiling assholes. No, I'm playing that shit on my own time and blazing through it.
But you need to get spoiled on it.
Fuck, I do.
Well, and we need a reason to swing the big band hammer around. Because, I mean, it's kind of dusty.
I was about to say, when was the last time we had to ban somebody?
Like I said, it's kind of dusty.
Last I remember, all we've ever had to do was time somebody out and they fuck off.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much, yeah.
Because we don't put up with that shit. If you're an asshole in chat, we just time you out and don't give a fuck. Anyway, we have the games for the PlayStation Classic now.
All 20 of them?
Yep, all 20, and those would be Battle Arena Toshiden, Dual Borders 2, Destruction Derby, Final Fantasy 7, Grand Theft Auto, Intelligent Cube, Jumping Flash, the original Metal Gear Solid, Mr. Driller, Oddworld Abe's Odyssey, Rayman, Resident Evil Director's Cut, Revelations Persona, Ridge Racer Type 4, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, Siphon Filter, Tekken 3, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, Twisted Metal, and Wild Arms. And the Japanese version specifically includes Armored Core and Parasite Eve. Swapping out a couple of things here because the Japanese PlayStation Classic has a few different games. Which, of course, they link the Japanese language version of this, so I can't tell what's what. Thanks. Appreciate that. So yeah, an interesting set. As a Persona fan, I am surprised that Persona 1 is on here. Revelations Persona, that is Persona 1. I am surprised that it is on this list. I'm also surprised Resident Evil Director's Cut's on here, considering there is a superior version of that out there right now. It's called RE Remake. You can get it on any platform right now, practically. I believe, yeah, it's coming to Switch. That RE0 and RE4 are all coming to Switch.
Okay, but until it comes on Alexa, it cannot actually be on every console.
Fair enough.
Had to say
yeah,
it.
some of the things that Game Informer lists that are not on here, Symphony of the Night, but I think that's because it's in a release right now with Rondo of Blood, which is why it's not on the Classic. Chrono Cross, which I didn't think people liked. No Crash, but I say Insane Trilogy is the reason why.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy Tactics, which is kind of surprising. Gran Turismo 2, which is kind of surprising. Mega Man Legends, which is another kind of surprising one. Parappa the Rapper, which is kind of surprising. No RE2, but that's probably because that's getting remade next year in January. And this comes out like a month before that. No Silent Hill, no Spyro, no Tony Hawk, no Twisted Metal. I don't know what Valkyria Profile is, and no Xenogears. So a bit of surprising about some of the games, but when you only have like 20 slots, stuff's gonna get left out.
Yeah, unfortunately. Because, I mean, I'm sure there is quite a few, maybe even not listed on that list, that people would have liked to have seen.
Yeah, although I don't know why the original Grand Theft Auto's here. Like, the Grand Theft Auto that people know didn't happen until 3. This Grand Theft Auto right here is top-down, and I don't think it was that good. Like, a better version of it really is Chinatown Wars on, like, the DS, I think? And that's kind of the same with Revelations Persona, because Persona as you know it from, like, Persona 4 and 5 started really with 3. Persona's 1 and, like, both versions of 2 are very different gameplay-wise. Also, the English translation of Revelations Persona, unless they're using the PSP port, isn't very good. Like, it's really not good. So I really hope that the Revelations Persona here is the PSP port. Or the PSP version. Because I believe that, like, fixed all the problems with Revelations Persona. And I believe Persona 2 as well. But yeah, any other thoughts? Alright. So, you know harmonics, right?
Yeah.
How would you like if they did a collaborative project with Twitch called Twitch Sings? Apparently, you can stream yourself singing along to music from Twitch's library of songs, while an audience watches and judges you. And they can vote
because
the next
that's
song.
exactly what we need to do. We need to give internet trolls an outlet. Because you can't tell me that's not what this is fixing to breed.
A little bit.
I feel like the smart question to ask here is whose harebrained idea was this? But at the same time, I might not want to know that answer either.
So, we essentially have karaoke coming to Twitch as a directory, essentially. Yay!
It's karaoke now with Twitch trolls.
Pretty much.
And I said Twitch trolls, not Twitch controls, for those wondering.
Well, I got slightly better news for you.
Slightly better news.
Well, it depends on how interested you would be in the thing that I'm about to tell you about.
Oh, then this may or may not be something.
Well, you know how Diablo 3 is coming to Switch, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, it's got amiibo functionality with its own amiibo in the form of the Loot Goblin. Apparently it will be available in December, and we have no idea what it does. All we know is that there are images in-game showing that you can scan this.
It does a thing with a thing that causes that thing to happen.
Yep. So, as a procurator of amiibo, are you interested in the Loot Goblin? That's about the same thing I'm feeling, because I'm like, you don't really fit the kind of loose aesthetic of amiibo. Which is an odd thing to say, but like, amiibos have a general aesthetic. Kind of. At least certain series have their aesthetics.
I mean, it's not bad. They could have done worse.
Yeah. It's kind of nice that other companies are at least throwing amiibo out there for their stuff.
And that Nintendo's actually allowing them to throw their own amiibos into the ring.
So, the last thing we have to talk about is, you know Fallout 76, right?
Yeah.
I assume you're seeing the title.
No.
Oh.
Oh. It's one of those, I had already saw the title when I was coming up with the, segues for the stream side of it.
So, Fallout 76 might have the largest, most destructive bug in any Bethesda game ever.
I'm glad you added the in any Bethesda game part. Because it's not the most destructive bug. No. Microsoft still has that one under wraps. But...
Yeah, we literally had a bug in the Fallout 76 beta that deleted itself!
Hey, at least it only deleted itself and didn't delete stuff not pertaining to it.
Well, unfortunately, Deltarune has that problem that if you run the installer, it might delete stuff connected to its directory. Yeah, don't use the uninstaller for Deltarune. or Deltarune if you have that installed. Just delete the files. Don't run the uninstaller. You might delete a lot of things, depending on where you have it installed.
But the uninstaller's safe to run, right?
Well, if you want to just delete the whole game, apparently you don't even need to run that for Fallout 76.
No, let's just find the bug and then let it just go.
And you know what the bug was? If you clicked any button on the launch client, it would delete the entire beta. Just ponder that for a second. If you click a button, as intended, on a menu to launch the game, you delete it all instead.
That's some good design there.
And that's not even the best part of Fallout 76, because as you, I assume, can see on the left, with the other Fallout 76 ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, the physics are tied to the frame rate one. Yeah, apparently if you go into your INI settings for the Fallout 76 beta, and I assume this probably won't be fixed for Fallout 76 because it comes out in like 14 days. No, 10 days.
Day 1 patch.
I would hope so. If you essentially mess with those settings, you can make your game run a lot faster, and that means you have essentially broke the game and made the game better, like perform better in you can kill people faster than they could kill you. You've essentially cheated by doing a thing that has always existed in the Fallout games because they haven't changed it. Because I'm willing to bet that the same INI settings that you do for Fallout 76 are the exact same in Fallout 4.
Probably, otherwise they wouldn't have been found as quick. Just saying.
Yep.
Because that's the common bug test practice there. You check stuff that was broke before and see if it's still broke.
Yeah, because I believe Fallout 76, mechanically speaking, under the hood, is literally Fallout 4. Because I've seen the power armor stuff from Fallout 76, and it's literally the same in Fallout 4. Or as the same as it is in Fallout 4. Meaning, they essentially took Fallout 4 as a basis and modded it to make it online. Without checking to make sure that everything was secure for online stuff. Like, you know, INI settings not affecting your stuff.
Did we do any bug testing? Nah, it's good.
And we've had, I think, about like 1 to 2 weeks of this beta process for Fallout 76.
So yeah, there'll be a day 1 patch.
Again, I hope so. I hope there's one, otherwise people aren't gonna like this game when it comes out. Granted, people aren't even liking this game now that they've had it in hands with the beta because it just isn't really that good. And I'm not surprised. Alright. Well, shall we talk releases?
I guess. Just a second.
Well, we've got a bit across a few different days, to be honest.
Well, that's different.
What?
That we have a bit across a few different days. Because it normally feels like just one day has all of them, and then the rest of them, there's some.
Well, there's 4 different days with probably a good 10 or a good double digit worth of releases. Granted, it's the holiday season. We are getting there.
I guess. Let us go then.
Alright, kicking things off with today, Valkyria Chronicles 4 DLC, expert level skirmishes for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. On the 5th, tomorrow, we have Moonlighter for Switch and Skytime for PlayStation 4 and the Switch. On the 6th, we have Ark Survival Evolved Extinction for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, Brawlhalla for Xbox One and Switch, Carnival Games for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch, Duracine for PlayStation 4, Full Metal Furies for Switch, Grip for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch, Jagged Alliance Raid for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, Necopra Volume 1 for PlayStation 4, Omen of Sorrow for PlayStation 4, Road Redemption for PlayStation 4, Rogue Legacy for Switch, Shadow of Lootbox for Switch. That seems appropriate for this day and age. I'm gonna look that up on the side while I keep reading. We have Slay Away Camp Butcher's Cut for Vita, Star Bear Taxi for PlayStation 4, Shadow and Soldiers 2 for PlayStation 4, Siren for PlayStation 4, The Forest for PlayStation 4, The Shapeshifting Detective for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch, Transpose for PlayStation 4, World of Final Fantasy Maxima for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch, and I am actually curious about that game. I am thinking about picking that up at some point. Unfortunately, I'm thinking about picking up that and Octopath Traveler, which means 2 more RPGs on my list, because god damn it. On the 7th, we have Crypto Game Nintendo Switch Edition for Switch, Duru The Art of Cooperation for Switch, and Steel Rats for PlayStation 4. On the 8th, we have Astro Breed for Switch, Battlezone Gold Edition for Switch, Crashlands for Switch, Doodle God Crime City for Xbox One, Johnny Turbo's Arcade, Breakthrough, and Night Slashers for Switch, Mechanica for Switch, Mercenary Wings The False Phoenix for Switch, Picture Painting Puzzle 1000 for Switch, Rage in Peace for Switch, Ride 3 for PlayStation 4, Skyforce Anniversary for Switch, Siberia 1 and 2 for Switch, The Bug Butcher for Switch, The Walking Vegetables Radical Edition for Switch, Timber Tennis Versus for PlayStation 4, Valiant Hearts Great War for Switch, and Varian for Switch. On the 9th, we have 1111 Memories Retold for Xbox One, Battle Chef Brigade for PlayStation 4 and Switch, Collide-A-Lot for Switch, Forgotten Man for Switch, Hitman 2 Gold Edition for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, Mechanica for Xbox One, Moonlighter for PlayStation 4 and Switch. Which, didn't I already say that? Moonlighter for Switch. Okay. Damn it, I didn't catch that change of release date, apparently. Nor Chronicles City of Crime for PlayStation 4 and Switch, Saboteur for Switch, Tetris Effect for PlayStation 4, and Townsman for Switch. By the way, Shadow of Lootbox, it is a meta first-person shooter that looks alright. It essentially bangs on about all that shit we don't like in video games these days. That looks like what the game's about. Anyway, on the 13th, we have 1111 Memories Retold for PlayStation 4, Aces of the Luftwaffe Squadron. That word that I'm not even going to attempt to say for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. No. I'm good. I'm not turning my tongue into a knot tonight. We have American Ninja Warrior for PlayStation 4 and Switch. Chimp Party for PlayStation 4. Fortnite Deep Freeze Bundle for Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and Switch. Hitman 2 for Xbox One, PlayStation 4. Just Deal With It for PlayStation 4. Knowledge is Power Decades for PlayStation 4. My Writing Stables Life with Horses for PlayStation 4 and Switch. Project High Rise Architects Edition for Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and Switch. Shadow of Tomb Raider The Forge for Xbox One, PlayStation 4. SNK 40th Anniversary Collection Limited Edition for Switch. Spyro Reignited Trilogy for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. And a bundle of the Spyro Reignited Trilogy and the Insane Trilogy for Crash Bandicoot for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. The Golf Club 2019 featuring PGA Tour for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. The Sims 4 Seasons for PlayStation 4. And Word Hunters for PlayStation 4. On the 14th, we have Fallout 76 for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Melbits World for PlayStation 4. And YouTuber's Life OMG Edition for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. On the 15th, we have Battlefield 5 Deluxe Edition for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Kishizu? I didn't even gonna attempt to say the rest, but Kishizu something for Switch. Hopiko for Switch, SNK Heroines Tag Team Frenzy, Miss X DLC for PlayStation 4, Solitaire Battle Royale for Switch, and Trailblazers for Switch. And on the 16th, we have Circle of Sumo for Switch, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu for Switch, and Sid Meier's Civ 6 for Switch. So in 2 weeks, we will have not only Pokemon, but Fallout. Yay.
But so fun installing Fallout.
And Battlefield. Let's not forget Battlefield comes out in like 2 weeks. Yay. Which brings us to quick draws, and mine are an excuse for us to talk about Geo. Because what do I have to tell you about the scans? Oh look, the Gaim set of episodes that start after next week's episodes that will take us through the rest of the month have Geo teaming up with himself somehow.
Wait, what?
Yes. Geo is teaming up with Geo because time shenanigans.
But nope.
It's okay to cross your own timeline. That totally won't fuck shit up so hard. Like, I don't know if the images I've seen are legitimate, but it literally is Sogo running in, saying hi to Sogo. Oh my god. Is this a Gaim reference? Because if it's a Gaim reference, you're doing it wrong. Because when Mai traveled back in time, she didn't stop anything because she couldn't. That was the point of her time travel. Is that she couldn't stop anything from happening because it was already set in stone. But yeah, the rest of it, the Time Majin with the O's ride watch and the O's Tajador ride watch equipped. Aura's Time Majin equipped with Castle Doran because that's a thing that'll never be explained. Some images from the movie that apparently Sento is handing Sogo the double ride watch. Which makes me go, we're not getting Shotaro and Philip in this movie, are we? Like, we're not getting either one of them if Sento has to hand Sogo the double ride watch. Mentions of the ride watches. We get to see another Gaim. We get to see the Gaim armor, which is fucking nonsense. Wonderful, beautiful nonsense. The watermelon ride gadget and that's really it. Oh yeah, there's the Paradox Ride Watch and the Cross Magma Ride Watch, which I think are only toys. And that's it. So how do you feel about all this wonderful stuff from this that literally only cover like a 2-episode arc and a little bit of the movie? We still don't have a trailer for it, and it comes out in like
I am more at this point just wanting to see how bad this show has to hit the reset button. Because it's inbound.
yeah.
And they're not adding anything to it, it seems like. Seems like we're just gonna completely destroy everything. I mean, that's what was bad. Decade, yeah, it was bad, but it was bad in the sense that he was basically screwing up the AR riders, not the actual shows. And it's like,
Yeah.
Like, the only headcanon that could make this work is if you try to say that at the point that Sogo got the Geo Rad Watch, that created a timeline split, and we're going down the timeline that he screws everything up.
And we do mean everything.
I mean, at this point, that's the only idea that could come out of that.
Well, outside of all this nonsense, I do have one bit of good news, potentially, in a purely speculative sense.
Okay.
In Soto's blog this week, they decided, well, we're not going to announce the Genom armor in the Soto line, and we're not going to announce the O's armor ahead of time. No! Guess what thing from Geo that they have announced that they are doing a kit for?
What?
The Time Majin. A scaled Time Majin that you can use the Soto figures with. And it has far more posability than the than the DX Time Majin. I can guarantee you that. Oh, by the way, here's the Right Striker as well, but who gives a shit about the Right Striker? That has literally only showed up in like 2 episodes. But yeah, the fact that they're doing the Time Majin and may or may not go, let's do some of the armor stuff for it. Because, fuck it. We can do whatever we want. It gives me hope that maybe, just maybe, it won't happen because there's too much detail for them to actually pull it off, most likely, like in a really good sense. But they'll do all the other rider designs. Because if they're willing to do the Time Majin, maybe they'll do more?
Maybe.
Because, again, I feel like the other riders are like one of the best designed things from the show. And since they're villains, it will be the best designed thing that will never be put into toy form. Or into any kind of plastic form. Which is a goddamn shame.
Yeah, because, I mean, so far, I can't think of a bad, another rider form.
Yeah. And, like, the Gaim one looks really cool, because not only is it combining aspects of like it's kind of corrupting aspects of Gaim. It's also incorporating Gaim Kiwami with the helmet. It's incorporating aspects of Redyu in terms of that sword, because that sword literally looks like Redyu's sword. It has kind of like a rotten look to it in terms of some of it. It's hard to tell because the best image we have is across 2 pages, so we lose a bit of the details.
Yeah.
But it has a bit of like wood protruding out, or with the branches protruding out of the shoulder pieces. Like, this looks really good. God damn it! Why are we blowing all of these really good writer designs and a show?
You know, you say that, but could it be the yeah, it's the DJ gun. Couldn't it be the DJ gun in sword form? What that's supposed to reference to?
A little bit. It kind of looks like more like just base orange arm sword, kind of.
Yeah.
Like, I say Redyu's because Redyu has like a big giant sword, kind of like that. But like how the armor is patterned looks far more like that's probably far more of the Redyu reference. Like, I know this show has some little references here and there, but I feel like the really hard, like, good, cool references are in the monster designs, and those have nothing to do with the writing. Like, the fact that, and I saw this got brought up, the fact that, where's the image? It was shown off in here somewhere. Where's the another double one in here? Don't think we have the best. Yeah, the another double one has a bit of Nazca elements in, or not Nazca, the Nazca lines that a lot of the Sonozaki family Dopons have incorporated into the design. Like, it's got a bit of that, considering, you know, Philip is a part of that family.
Yeah.
And also, how, and you can't see this in the photos, you have to see it in the close-up photos, one half of the double face looks sad while the other looks happy. That is a reference to the second to last episode of Double. When Philip dies. Like, holy shit, the very, very deep references that is made with some of these designs. And again, none of this has to do with the writing of Geo. Which makes me even sadder because these are really cool designs that are really digging deep into these shows for material to build off of, and they're being practically wasted on a show that doesn't really do anything with them. Besides, here's the monster. And even the people who are these another writers have nothing to do with the original writers. The closest we get is Dan, because he is a writer. Or was a writer, because he's not a writer in the timeline anymore. I think.
You know, his is questionable. Just all the way around. Because the way the show portrays it, he's not. Yet we know in the episode before that he had dangerous zombies gas hats, so that would mean that some of the events had to have happened to get to that point.
Yeah. Except he's given the another ride and watch before he developed it.
Yeah.
Also, like, Sogo has to go give Edgy the ride watch in the past, or the blank ride watch in the past. He also has to give one to Dan.
You're right.
But here's the question. Why would he give him the one to start with? Like, outside of closing this time loop that he created, why did he give Dan a blank ride watch to start with? There is no another Genom. Another X8 has already been defeated. And even then, you can't use the Genom ride watch to beat another X8. Assumingly.
Maybe. We've not had that happen so far.
Right, because we don't have any secondary rider armors.
The only thing, but it's kind of skewed too, was the build episode.
Yeah.
We had the cross ride watch also in play at that point, but we don't know if that had any effect on another build in terms of being able to defeat him.
Yeah.
So that's one of those up in the air. It might.
And I assume Gates gave, like, Haruto and Nito blank ride watches, but Nito's never came in play, so why did he give one to Nito to start with?
Yeah.
In order to close the time loop. Why? He even kept it! Nito still has the Beast Ride watch. Gates never got it. He only got the Wizard one. So,
Yeah.
what is the point of the secondary rider ride watches if they're not being utilized?
The whole concept is flawed.
It's over.
Where I know why what I'm fixing to say couldn't happen, and it's budget. But I honestly would have felt like it would be better to, you have primary and secondary rider with Geo and Gates.
Yeah.
Why not have primary and secondary another rider? Then you could utilize the primary and secondary ride watches.
Because that's more budget, because that means we have to create more ride armors that were, like, the only reason we got the Genom one is because it's literally a repaint of the X8 armor that we got 4 episodes ago.
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't seen since then. Literally.
Mainly because I would venture to say it had been painted during that time.
I would honestly not be surprised. Because we've only seen, the Forze one and the Wizard one and the Build one since their debuts? We haven't seen X8 since its debut, I don't believe.
I don't think. We might have the beginning of the episode after.
Maybe.
But if it wasn't for long.
Yeah. I still just look at Geo and I'm like, your plot is too complicated. You overcomplicated something that should have been fucking simple. Why? Why did you do this? Ugh.
I mean, like I said, I know the issue that I said boils down to budget.
Yeah.
But I feel like that would have made the most sense if you're gonna introduce any secondary rad watches. Like, we should have either went all the way or none.
Like, I understand you gotta sell toys. But, like, if the toys aren't important, who the fuck wants to buy them? Like, if the cross one isn't used to give you a fucking armor, or even if Gomberizing it isn't even willing to do these designs, the fuck's the point in trying to make it a big deal? Be like, here's the cross ride watch that did absolutely nothing in any Geo material at all.
Yeah.
It'd be one thing if Gomberizing at least did the forms. They're not. They're not even. They're only even really bothering to do the forms that are in the show because they haven't even done the Den-O and Ryuki ones that we've at least seen Soto decide to do. Because at least Soto is doing forms for the rest of the main riders that we're not getting at the moment. Potentially. Because they had to be cagey on the fact of whether we're going to see another Den-O or the Den-O ride armor in the Ryuki ride armor, which I have to assume we have to see the Den-O armor in the movie. Because how are we bidding another Den-O otherwise? Because the Den-O armor has to be used to beat another Den-O. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Another Den-O just continues to exist.
Oh, that also made me think of something else when you said about Den-O.
What?
I have a minor issue with one of the .5 episodes. The one talking about how Sogo isn't the first one to try to be a king. And they fail to mention Gaim.
Technically, Coda didn't want to become a king. He became Fruit Jesus.
Well, it was because Waz said about he wasn't the first rider to become a king. And that's how it was worded. Not that wanted to become a king. No, to become a king. Yeah, kind of missed a big one.
I was about to say, one became Fruit Jesus. 2 riders' final forms are very much king themed. Like, one is literally called king, another is called emperor.
Mm-hmm. Which, of course, those get brought up.
Yeah.
It's one of those, way to go. You managed to realize everything except for one.
Yep. Which, there's a thing I forgot about Den-O that makes me go, you know, your plot doesn't work in removing his powers, right? Unless it somehow removes a thing that is literally impossible to remove. The main rider of Den-O, in the series, he's a singularity point, which means he's immune to time travel changes. Unless he is literally removed from existence, he can't be affected by changes to the timeline. Unless he is literally killed at an earlier point in his timeline, he can't be removed. Like, he can't be altered. That's the entire point of being a singularity. And you're going to tell me that somehow these ride watches are able to negate that. How?
Plot
literally.
convenience.
I know it's going to be literally, it'd be plot convenience, but are you going to even attempt to explain how you're able to negate a thing that, by the rules of Den-O, cannot be negated? Unless you literally murder him. Which is the entire plot of Den-O's solo movie.
You're asking that, but I want you to sit there and find out if they've explained anything that they have done in this show.
I know. They'll never explain it. Like, they've explained nothing in this show. But I figured I'd just throw that one on the table of, here's the thing you have to ride around, besides just ignore it. Because I know you're ignoring it.
Yeah, it'll just be ignore it. Because actually acknowledging and coming up with a logical answer that makes sense within the confines of the show would take too much work. And that's what it seems to be boiling down to repeatedly.
Well, Loop Hat's at least staying alright. So I have that. And I started watching Ultraman Rube, which is actually pretty good. And had a villain that is pretty much, the caustic part of fandoms. Literally that. Literally the shitty person on the internet who complains about everything. It was the best. And it wasn't even done like super hard meta-wise. It was just, oh, this guy fell in love with the idea of Ultraman. And wants to become an Ultraman. And has this idea of Ultraman that is wrong. Because he's an idiot. And doesn't understand this concept truly. But yeah, that's really it for mine, unless you have something to talk about with Geo.
No.
Alright, what do you got?
Well, mine is actually a little thing that Google is doing called Project Stream. Effectively, it is the same kind of concept that OnLive had before, where it's streaming games. Right now, it's got Assassin's Creed Odyssey in there. And honestly, I feel like they've got a good start. The bigger things can be questions of going forward. Because I didn't wind up having any issues playing it. Input lag didn't seem to be there. Didn't have any kind of stalls or delays with it. It all ran smooth. And honestly, running through Chrome, I was kind of surprised. Like, it doesn't have its own launcher or anything. It runs through Chrome. But I feel like this is a good thing to at least keep an eye on. Like you and me were talking before stream, I kind of wonder how the ideas down the road as far as game purchases would go. Because, like you mentioned, there could be DRM issues, but I think it's going to more boil down to a Netflix type issue. With people sharing account information to effectively buy one game and play it amongst multiple people. I'm more in fear of how is Google gonna handle that. Are they gonna say if you get caught you lose your account regardless of how much you've spent, or are they gonna be able to set up guidelines, and if you break the rules then you get put in like a different section, so to say?
Also, out of curiosity, will certain games always be a part of the service, or will games just disappear?
That I don't know. I mean,
Because
right now it's more of a technical test.
Yeah.
To try to just see what it's gonna do. That's a good question, though.
Because that's a thing that a lot of people are dealing with, especially with anime right now, because Funimation cut ties with Crunchyroll and are removing all their stuff from Crunchyroll to go put on their own service. So things you used to be able to watch on Crunchyroll, now you can't, because you have to go buy their own service. So if this thing were to have like an Assassin's Creed game on it, as it does now, will it always be there? or will it just go away at some point and be like, you can't play this game anymore? Because that's kind of shitty.
The only thing I could think of is if there's a potential the games could be removed, maybe they might opt to go with a subscription based where you pay so much a month and have access to any of the games. That way that kind of curves the whole, this game might be here for the life of the service, or this game might only be here a year or two until the developer decides to get their own service going.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing Assassin's Creed Odyssey could fall into. If this turns out good, Ubisoft has Uplay, they could try to implement something like this within it.
Yeah. Once more, one of the things of, I would like to have a subscription to like 5 different services just to play the games I want. But I just have one called...
I'll be fair. If this had every game that's going to be coming out and kind of be like Steam is, but it being a streaming based, I would probably buy a subscription for it. Because, yeah, if the games disappear, that's a loss, but at the same time, as long as there's enough games to sustain it, sure. I mean, that would be that trade-off there.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. I kind of do agree with you too, though. What happens when other companies are like, we can do that too with ours, and then all of a sudden, we've got 5 or 10 different ones of these services.
Yep.
Like, I feel like for this to succeed, there needs to be 1, maybe 2 per console group.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for Xbox consoles, maybe let Microsoft run it. For Sony's stuff, let them run it. And kind of just keep it blocked off like that. Maybe PC side have maybe 1 or 2 of them going. I have a funny feeling that's not going to happen.
Yeah, because honestly, I would rather just buy the games I want to play.
Like I said, it's kind of a trade-off.
Yeah.
Especially this time of the year. You look, if you could spend, say, $20 a month and be able to play 5 or 6 games and have them completed within 2 or 3 months, you come out cheaper.
Yeah.
So it's one of those, it's a trade-off. It really is going to depend on what's going to come to it.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to support it and back it, and what games are they bringing to the table with it, on whether or not even a subscription base would be cost effective.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's going to be down the road anyhow. If anyone wants to take a look at it, that would definitely be something I'd look into. I believe they've got Odyssey gonna be on it until the middle of January, I think it is. Of course, this article doesn't say. But I'm wanting to say it's middle of January. So plenty of time to attempt to get in and check it out. I felt it was good, but it might not be the thing for everyone. So, but you got anything to add on it?
Nope. I was seeing why Spike was still streaming, and apparently he's still on a run 5.5 hours in.
Sounds about right.
So it's just like, Jesus, Spike, it's midnight. You don't stream this late. Yeah, that'll pretty much do it. We were discussing this, and I'm most likely going to be taking Thursdays off for the next little while until I move back. That way we can do Paper Mario properly. Because I honestly don't have any ideas that will cover both days. Which means I might not be doing 15, at least not for a little bit. Because Wednesday, I will probably definitely be doing some NES games on that Switch Online service. We're going to see how bad I am at some NES games that I've never played before. Literally have never played before. And then maybe I'll play some 15 and see how much I can get through before I quit. Because I'll be honest, 15 has not looked the most interesting to me. Other than that, should be everything that's going up on the schedule. And apparently,
Yeah.
I super need you to take a down in Fortnite for me to get another fucking revive. I have been stuck at 4 out of 5 for like multiple sessions of Fortnite, and I can't get it.
Dang.
I need you to fall off a ramp enough for you to be down and for me to get you up. In order to get it, apparently.
Well, I guess we can do that.
Because that's literally the only challenge I have left on the week 3 ones, and then it's off to like week 5, week 6. Or no, week 5, week 6? Yeah, week 5, week 6. Which are a complicated bag of challenges. I need to kill 2 people with a minigun.
Huh.
I almost had 1 person, but yeah, killing 2 people with a minigun. Harder than it looks.
I can imagine.
Like, there's that. I need to land at specific locations. I need to pick up these sheet music from these different locations. I need a heavy shotgun. I need pistol kill, or I need hand cannon damage at the moment. I don't remember what else. I need a good bit all around. So that will be fun Friday.
You'll just have to remind me that I've got to run and jump off of a ramp.
Well, all you gotta do is like build up the ramp enough and just keep taking damage over and over until you're down. Which
like I said, you'll just have to remind me that I need to fall off a ramp.
Yeah. Although I do believe that we get the dance battle mode back since Fortnitemares was this past couple weeks. So we've got the dance battle mode back.
That'll make it a little easier to do some of the challenges then.
The damage challenges as long as I get a hold of the weapon, please. Because that's the tricky part with the dance one. Since you don't drop weapons, you pretty much are kind of stuck with whatever you can get, especially out of boxes. So it's more case you need a specific weapon, but hope you can get a hold of it as soon as you can, because kind of fucked otherwise. Which I got most of the Fortnite challenges done. I only missed one, which means I only missed one thing out of the 4 things you could have got out of it. Those were surprisingly easy. But yeah, check out the schedule, see what we're doing for the next week or so. I should hopefully be getting the archive tomorrow, because I need to sit down and do that, and I'll sit down and do that in classes. Because it's like 3 weeks behind now.
Oh God.
Yeah, I have not sat down and updated it. And bear in mind, that's just from the last like 3 weeks of content. Like it's all highlighted. It's just not pushed to the side at the moment. So yeah, I will be doing that hopefully next week. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Russ, anything else?
Nope.
Alright, we will see you next week, folks.